This channel wouldn't be possible without the support from you guys. And if you're looking for an easy way to help support the channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And another easy way to help out the channel is by supporting me directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and the best way to help grow this channel is with the help of you guys. This video is sponsored by Collect Edition. They have a huge commander inventory and worldwide shipping, so check them out with the link in the description. Welcome to my new series called Versus Series, where I take two popular commanders and make them face off in a mini deck tech video to see who is the real champion of the world. We'll be taking a look at a couple of key points to determine who is the best pound for pound commander in the world, not the most powerful necessarily, keep that in mind. First off, we're gonna take a look at synergy. What stupid engine can we create with our commander? What theme exactly does our commander fit in? And which one is the most powerful? Then consistency. Yes, having synergies and a powerful engine is nice, but can you pull it off easily and consistently each game, huh? Can you? Huh? Then resiliency. It sure is awesome to shit out a million creatures by turn 3, but if one board wipe wrecks you completely for the rest of the game, how good is it exactly? And the most important factor, fun! Fun for you, fun for your grandma, fun for your fucking dog, and fun for everybody else. Yes, winning is nice, but if no one wants to play with you, is it worth it? The commanders are chosen by my Patreons only, so if you want to take part in the commander selection, become a patron and get access to the Versus Series poll. First off, fighting out of the blue corner, she's a 5-mana 3/3 Simic Commander, Merfolk Druid. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Next up, fighting under the red corner, we have Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy. He's a 2-mana 2/2 human druid. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent could produce. Pay 7. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. First off, synergy. Tatyova's chillin' like a villain with a landfall-based strategy, and you don't need much to get this bad girl, bad merfolk going. We play every extra land per turn card such as Azusa, Lost but Finding Nemo, Dryad of the Elysian Groovy, and Wayward Sword Dino, letting you play extra lands each turn. There's a lot of cards like these, from creatures to enchantments, and we play them all. Why? Well, with Tatyova out, play a land, draw a card. If you draw a land, play it, draw another card. If you draw another land, play it, and so on, and so on, and so on. So with 3 or 4 extra land drops per turn, things get a bit mind-boggling. Did I say 3 or 4 land drops per turn? Fuck shit up with Manscape Shift and get a billion land drops. 4 mana sorcery, sacrifice any number of lands, search your library for that many lands. Huh? And put them onto the battlefield. Huh? Then shuffle your library. What? And right after that you can cast Splendid Reclamationator. It's a 4 mana sorcery, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So casting Scapeshift and Splendid Reclamation with 8 lands and Tatyova out, you draw 16 cards and gain 16 life! Not to mention technically ramping for 8 lands, yeah.
Too easy! Wow!
Simic, am I right? Landfall is the name and value is the game. Burgeoning. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Once again, drawing lands is what we aim for, because you can play more, and play all the lands, and play all of them! You have to take the trade route to Value Town, and we do this with Trade Routes. It's a 2-mana enchantment. Pay 1, return target land you control to its owner's hand. Pay 1, discard a land card from your hand, draw a card. So here's the dealio. If you're not drawing lands, you can just bounce them back and replay them and keep drawing cards. And Oboroto. Palasa in the Clouds. It's a legendary land. Tap, add 1 blue, pay 1, return Oboro, Palace in the Clouds to its owner's hand. Bounce, play it, draw a card. Come on now, bounce, play it, draw a card. That's right. Now for Kinnan, Simic ramp without ramping lands. So we want to play a lot of Dorks and a lot of mana Dwayne Johnsons.
I gotta say, that is me.
Finborn, Mystic, and Lanoir, all a bunch of stupid freaking dorks, just to name a few. Double that mana with Kinnan out. It's not as resilient as lands, but way faster. You can play like 1 million of these by turn 3, ramping like crazy. They help pay for each other because that's what dorks do. They stick together. Dork power.
Do they have an idea that they're working towards?
Infinite is the name and the feeling is pain. Dwayne Johnson Monolith goes infinite with Kinnan. Tap to add 3 colorless, pay 3 to untap Basalt Monolith, but with Kinnan out, it gives you 4. So tap to add 4, use 3 to untap. Huh? That's all. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. Just this rock and Kinnan. 2-card infinite colorless mana. Wow, this is really hard. Takes a lot of effort, huh, Simic?
One of the more devastating knockouts you will see.
Same thing for Freed from the Real. It's a 3 mana, pay 1 blue, untap enchant creature. Huh? Put this on a Birds of Paradise to tap for 2 now with the help of Kinnan, and voila! Tap, untap, tap, tap, untap. Oh yeah, tap, untap. Yeah, alright. To infinity and beyond. Now if only we had a way to sing that mana to win the game. Oh wait, Kinnan has a second ability. What the fuck, wizards? Speaking of untapping, that's something we want to abuse with cards like Intruder Alarm. It's a 3 mana enchantment. Creatures do not untap during their controller's untap phases. Whenever any creature comes into play, untap all creatures. I don't need to explain how crazy things can get with this card. Activate Kinnan with your dorks, hit a creature with his ability, untap all creatures with Intruder Alarm, repeat the process. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, boy.
And of course, Seedborn Muse, because what's better than activating Kinnan? Activating him during each of your opponent's turns. So that's it for the strategies, and to be honest, I'm a sucker for Landfall. It's such a powerful and versatile strategy that you don't really need Tatyova to win the game. Unlike Kinnan, that the deck resolves entirely around him and activating his ability. So, I'm going with Tatyova for this one. Now for consistency, Kinnan cannot be cheaper than a green and a blue, and most of your creatures are dumb mana dorks that cost nothing. Your games will often look like this. Turn 1, Mana Dork. Turn 2, another Mana Dork and a 2 mana rock. Huh? Turn 3, cast Kinnan and have 7 mana up to activate his ability.
That's pretty good.
What the baloney? You can pull this off consistently game after game because we play so many dorks and rocks, and dorks and rocks, and dorks and rocks, and dorks and rocks. Okay. Okay. What won't be consistent is what you'll be hitting with Kinnan. It's such a random aspect. Yes, you could hit an Ulamog, but you could also hit another dork. And if that happens, you're gonna feel like a dork yourself. You can even go berserk mode and play all the super cheap mana rocks. Cheap, aka free mana rocks. Wow, free, oh my god. You can even pull out a turn 2 Kinnan with activation.
That is gigantic.
So the super cheap cost of everything in this deck makes it very consistent. Now for Tatyova. Here's the thing, she does cost 5, and yes, we play a lot of ramps, so odds are you'll be casting her turn 4, but even then, we need to untap with her before she gets going. Compared to Kinnan, that's a huge difference. Yes, you could cast her later to make sure you have ramp to go along with her to get a bit of value out, but that's kind of counterproductive.
Not a great plan.
You want her out early to start the engine early. V8 Dodge Viper machine engine. You have to hit one of your extra lands per turn cards. It's like pretty fucking crucial, bro. 1 land drop per turns mean you'll be drawing 1 extra card per turn. 1 card, what the fuck is this, a precon? And like I said, you have to untap with her. Untap. If she dies, she's gonna cost you 7 mana after that. That's a lot compared to Kinnan. So we're running a lot of protection, a lot of 0 mana counter spells to make sure she lives through her first turn on the board. Once you untap though, things get fucking crazy. There's a lot of stupid spells that go boom with Tatyova, like Scapeshift or Ancient Bean Warden. What? He's a 6 mana 5/7 elemental with reach. You may play lands from your graveyard. Right there, that's amazing. If a land entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So she does require a bit more to get going compared to Kinnan, but once she does, it's a goodbye, motherfuckers!
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life, Dan.
A simple boiling regrowth will make you draw 2 cards with Tatyova. It's a 3 mana instant, sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle your library. What does that mean? We don't play a lot of draw cards. Rem spells are basically draw cards, so we play a shitload, meaning you will be playing Tatyova on turn 3 or 4 pretty consistently.
Wow.
Once Tatyova gets going, she's pretty bonkers, but she does require a bit more strategy to pull off her shenanigans. Shenanigans, come on. And by the simple fact of all the ultra low mana cost and amount of dorks and rocks we'll be playing, Kinnan gets the nod for consistency. That doesn't mean it's fun, because each game will look more or less the same, but it will be consistent. Now for resiliency, the whole Kinnan deck revolves around him and his stupid freaking dorks. You will be drawing them and playing them early on each game, but just killing one of them sets the whole deck back quite a bit. You can play Kinnan and maybe get an activation off him early as well, but if he goes bye-bye, you're not left with much. You could just replay him the turn after because he's so cheap, but that really brings the speed of the deck down, and Kinnan is all about speed. Need for speed. Simic. Getting board wiped right after playing Kinnan and a bunch of dorks is really devastating.
And I don't like that idea.
Plus, all the easy mana they give you means you'll be shitting out your hand really fast, so the follow-up is not that great. As for Tatyova, Wingardium Leviosa, yes, you're gonna be ramping before and after and during and all the time, and the deck can manage its own even without the commander. Plus, the creatures you'll be playing will either ramp you or let you play extra lands. So even if someone board wipes the board, you'll still have your lands. Plus, the deck draws a lot more than Kinnan, so recovery is not that bad. Even land destruction is not a problem. We play cards like World Shaper and Crucible of Worlds. You may play land cards from your graveyard, and whenever World Shaper dies, put all land cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped, getting back more lands and drawing more cards in the process. Plus, the landfall creatures have so much value. Drop a Scoot Swarm or a Rampaging Baloth right after a board wipe, you're back in business. Yes, Tatyova is amazing, but let's be real here, it's a Simic landfall deck. You don't need much to get going. So mana dorks being really easy to get rid of and lands being the exact opposite, Tatyova gets the nod for resiliency. Now that's all cats and dog stuff, but is the deck really fun? A fun deck is a good deck, win or lose. There's the random aspect about Kinnan that's really fun, never knowing what the hell you're gonna hit with his ability. Oh papa, am I hitting a Vorinclex? Or maybe a Ulamog, huh papa? You get that excitement each time you activate him, and that's pretty often. And there's just something fun about playing landfall, whether it be powerful, or hard to deal with, or completely fucking broken maybe. The synergies flow like water, and you're getting a shitload of value by, well, playing lands, you know, what you do a million times each game? Playing lands, you know, lands, yeah. Tatyova can be over the top sometimes and tends to play a lot more crazy fun cards like Scapeshift, and drawing like she does, you'll be playing them pretty often. Both of these commanders are really fun, but I gotta give this one to Tatyova. And new EDH Simic Champion of the World, Tatyova Bantex Red. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did, and don't forget to become a patron if you want in on the commander selection. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, we're here for a silly goose time, and that's it.